Hello everyone, welcome back to my video lecture series on ARM microcontroller and embedded systems. Here I'll be explaining about some of the useful instructions used in the ARM Cortex M3 processor. After going through this topic, the students will be able to demonstrate useful instructions of ARM processor and they are able to write assembly programs effectively by utilizing these instructions. First of all, we'll go through accessing special register values. So there are two instructions and these instructions are accessed only in a privileged mode. Those two instructions are used to access the value of a special register as well as to write the value into a special registers. They are MRS and MSR. The MRS is move or read special register value into a general purpose register. That is, reading a value of special register into a general purpose register. MSR is moving or writing a general purpose register value into a special register. So which are these special registers? In the below figure, we have shown that the used whichever we are going to use those special registers. So like IPSR, interrupt status register, EPSR, execution status register, APSR, flags from previous operation, IEPSR, a composite of IPSR and EPSR. So we have so many PSP, MSP. So these are a stack pointer, main stack pointer and process stack pointer, primask and base pri. So many special registers are there. So to access these, to read and write the values from or into this, we are going to use these two instructions, MRS and MSR. So for example, we have written up here MRS R1, CPSR. So here the value of CPSR will be loaded into a register R1 and MSR is MSR space IPSR, R4. That is, the value of R4 is written into IPSR register. Next, we'll discuss on if then instruction block, IT instruction. So IT block is similar to if else statement in C programming. Here we can implement up to 4 conditional blocks. That is, IT can be implemented with 4 conditions. So we'll go through an example. The example 1, the first instruction is IT and then condition. We know there are 15 condition codes that we can use. And the second instruction is instruction 1, any instruction with the condition. So here, if a condition in the IT space condition instruction, if I is if, T is then. If condition is true, then go to instruction 1 and execute based upon its condition. So this is one IT block only because the IT is not going to look for the second instruction. It is going to only look for the next instruction which is written in the below of IT instruction. Say for an example, here we have written some 4 lines, one program, where the first line is it's CMP. It's not a CPM, it's a CMP, compare instruction, compare R1, R2, where it is going to update, this compare instruction is going to update the Z flag if R1 equal to R2, Z equal to 1, or else Z equal to 0. Then we will write in the second line IT space EQ. EQ is a condition which is going to check the flag Z. So if then is going to execute in the way that if Z equal to 1, that is R1 is equal to R2, then go to instruction number 3. That is in the line 3 we have an instruction add EQ R5, R5, R6. But here no else is implemented. So by default, if the condition is true, the next instruction after IT will be executed. If not, it will go for after the add EQ instruction. That is, if R1 is not equal to R2, the add EQ, the third line instruction will not be executed after IT. So this is one IT block. Like this, we can implement 4 IT blocks. We'll see some examples on this. So example 2, using ITE instruction. Here it is a 2-block implementation, that is ITE. If, then one instruction, else second instruction. So 2 blocks are there. Again, some spelling mistakes are there. We will just correct it. It's not CPM, it is CMP. Compare. So here in this program, CMP R1, R2. Again, we are going to compare the register value R1 and R2 and updating the flags. Then ITE GE. GE is a condition code to check greater than or equal. The condition for this is greater than or equal. So ITE, how this is going to implement? If R1 is greater than or equal to R2, then go to instruction number 3, that is ADDGE R5, R5, R6. Else E equal to else. Else go to number 4, that is in the fourth line ADDLE R6, R5 and R6. Here 2 different instructions are there, ADDGE and ADDLE. So out of these 2 instructions, only one instruction is going to be executed according to ITE. So if condition is true, ADDGE will be executed. If condition is false, then ADDLE is going to be executed. So here it's a 2-block implementation. Then we'll go for using ITTEE, ITTEE instruction. Some spelling mistakes are there, we'll just correct it. So here the first line is CMP R1, R2, compare R1 with R2 and update the flags. Then we are going to put a condition that ITTEE space condition is equal. So that is, if the register R1 and R2 are equal, then the line number 3 and line number 4 are going to be executed. 2 instructions are going to be executed. That is, we have used ITTEE. TT is nothing but then, 2 times then. And EE is nothing but 2 times else. So here, if R1 is equal to R2, 2 times then is going to be executed. That is, add EQ R5, add EQ R6. Line number 3 and line number 4. Else, if R1 is not equal to R2, then these 2 instructions are skipped. The line number 3 and line number 4 are skipped, and then line number 5 and line number 6 are going to be executed depending upon their condition, that instruction condition. So this is a 4-block implementation, IEEE. So this is about IT block or IT instruction. Then we'll go for divide instructions. So there are two types. One is signed division and another one is unsigned division. So the syntax for these instructions, SDIV space destination register, comma source register 1 and operand 2. So here the destination register will be loaded with the value Rn divided by Rm. So for example, LDR R0 comma equal to 300. So here we have loaded a 300 decimal number into R0. Then move R1 comma hash 5. The 5 decimal number is loaded into R1. And UDIV unsigned division R3 comma R0 comma R1, where R3 will be loaded with R0 divided by R1. That is, R0 is having 300, R1 is having 5. So the result 60 decimal number is loaded into R3, or 0x3c will be displayed in the R3, the hexadecimal number equivalent to 60. Next we will go for reverse a byte order, a half word, or a bit order. 3 instructions are there: REV, REVH and RBit. So directly we'll go for an example. Consider R0 is 0x12345678, a 32-bit number. Even the binary value of this number is been written in the bracket. Let's go for the first one, REV, which reverses a byte order in a data word. So single data in a single register, it is going to change the byte orders. Say for an example, the value of R0 is 12345678 hexadecimal number. So when we write REV R1 comma R0, then R1 will be loaded with the reversed byte orders of R0. That is, R1 will be loaded with 78, 56, 34, 12. See that the R1 78 0x78 is the lowest byte of R0. 56 is the second lowest byte of the R0. 34 is a third lowest byte of the R0, and 12 is a highest byte of R0. So in this way, the lowest byte has become the highest byte, and highest byte has become a lowest byte. It is been written byte order in reverse. Then the second one is also similar, but here a half word is going to be swapped. That is, reverse half word, REVH, reverses the half word order in a data word. Example 2 is REV, REVH, it should be REVH, R1, R0. So here R1 reversed byte orders of R0. It should not be a reverse byte order, it is a half word order. is a half word, and here it is bit. So here REVH R1 comma R0, where the value of R1 will be loaded with the reversed half word orders of R0. That is, R1 will be loaded with 0x 5678 1 2 3 4. So the 5678 is the lowest half word, 1 2 3 4 is the highest half word, which are being interchanged. The third one is R bit instruction, reverse bitwise. That is, it reverses a single bit order in a data word. That is R bit R1 comma R0. So here R1 reversed bit orders of R0. So we can the value of R1 will be updated as 0x 1e 6a 2c 48. That is, if we read the binary number R0 binary number in the above in a reverse way, that is, the LSB has become MSB and the MSB has become the LSB. In that way, if we read, then that value will be 1E 6A 2C 48. Next, sign extension of byte and half word. That is sign extension. We are going to extend a sign. If it is a positive number, 0 is going to be extended. If it is a negative number, 1 is going to be extended according to its sign. So we have 4 instructions: SXTB, SXTH, that is sign extend byte, sign extend half word, unsigned extend byte, and unsigned extend half word. So these are used to extend the sign. So say for an example, SXTB and SXTH. So here these are used to extend using a 7-bit or 15-bit, that is 8-bit or 15-bit of Rn value. Say for an example, R0 is going to be loaded with 55AA8765. When we execute SXTB R1 comma R0, R0 is having one value. In that value, the SXTB is going to extend the sign of byte only. The byte of R0 is 65, and the last bit of this 65 is 0. So 0 is going to be extended with all the upper bytes, and then this value is loaded into R1 register. In the below SXTH R1 comma R0, again R0 is having one value. In that value, only the lower half word is going to be copied into R1, and then the R1 will be, the remaining upper half word is going to be extended with the sign. So now here 8 value is having a sign of 1 in the upper bit of half word. So 1 is going to be extended. So the value of R1 will become FFFF8765. Similarly, if you go for UXTB and UXTH, the value is 0 extended to 32-bit. Say for an example, 55888765, the same value we are going to take. So it is unsigned. There is no sign extend. So in UXTB R1 comma R0, R1 will be loaded with 00000065. That is, the zeros are going to be extended in the upper bytes. In the UXTH, the zeros are extended in the upper half word. Bit field clear and bit field insert, BFC and BFI. So here, if you want to clear a particular bit field in one word, then we are going for bit field clear. And if you want to insert some value in a particular word, we are going for bit field insert, BFI. We'll see one by one. So bit field clear clears 1 to 31 adjacent bits in any position of register starting from location LSB and number of bits specified by a width. So how this is going to work? BFC.W RD is a destination register which is going to have updated value, hash LSB. So this LSB is a starting value or starting bit number where it is going to start clearing the bits, comma, hash width. So this width is how many number of bits have to be cleared. From where it has to start is defined by hash LSB. How many number of bits is defined by hash width. So for example, LDR R0 comma equal to 0x1234 FFFF. So now R0 is having 1234 FFFF value. BFC.W space R0 comma hash 4 comma hash 8. So in the R0 register, from the 4th bit up to 11th bit, that is total of 8 bits are going to be cleared. So the updated value of R0 will be R0 equal to 0x1234 F00F. In a similar way, the bit field insert copies 1 to 31 bits from one register to another, any location in another register. So for syntax, BFI dot W space RD is a destination register, RN is a source register whose value is going to be loaded into RD, inserted into RD. We will see an example. LDR R0 comma equal to 0x12345678. LDR R1 comma equal to 0x3355 AACC. Now BFI dot W R1 comma R0 comma hash 8 comma hash 16. So here the value of R0 starting from 0 to 16 bits, that is starting from 0 to 15, is copied into the register R1 starting at the LSB specified value 8th bit up to extended 16 bits 8 to 23. So this will give us the result R1 is equal to 0x335678 CC. So 55AA is inserted with 5678. R0 is from 0th bit to the width specified 16 bits, so 0 to 15, and that R0 value is inserted into R1 value starting from LSB specified 8 to plus 16 23. Unsigned and signed bit field extract instructions. So we have two instructions over here, UBFX and SBFX. These instructions are used to extract the required value from any register and stored into other register. So unsigned and signed bit field extraction instructions are there. Syntax UBFX.W RD, RN, hash LSB hash comma hash width. So we'll see the example here. UBFX extracts a bit field from a register starting from any location, and that location is specified by the LSB with any width. The width is also given with the hash width, and 0 extends it and puts it in the destination register. See, now here we'll take one example. LDR R0 comma equal to 0x5678 ABCD is a data, the red marked data. UBFX.W R1 comma R0 comma hash 4 comma hash 8. So here the value of R0 starting from 4th bit with the width of 8 bits, that is starting from 4th bit is C. C is a 4 bits and B is a 4 bits. 4 plus 4, 8 bits. The width is going to be 8 bits. So this value B and C are going to be written into R1, and rest of the bits are extended to 0. So this is unsigned bit field extraction, a byte field extraction. Similarly, SBFX extracts a bit field, but its sign extends it before putting it in the destination register. The only difference between this UBFX and SBFX is sign extension. In UBFX, 0 is going to be extended. In sign SBFX, whichever the sign, if it is 1, 1 is going to be extended. If it is 0, 0 is going to be extended. It's depending upon the sign of the number. Load and store double word, LDRD and STRD. In the previous classes, we have already discussed about this. Let us go in an overview. So the two instructions LDRD and STRD transfer 2 words of data from or into a register. So the syntax for this is, there are 2 types, pre-indexed and post-indexed, LDRD and STRD. So for example, we'll see LDRD R2 comma equal to 0x1000. So 1000 is a base address over here. So here we have used a post index, that is the data will be transferred and then the memory will be extended. And now we are going to transfer double word. So now here the R0 register will have a value from the memory 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003, and R1 will be having a data from the memory 1004, 5, 6, 7, and then R1 is and then R2 is going to be updated to 1008. So it's a post index. Then in another example, LDR R2 comma equal to hash 0x1000, again the same base address. Now here STRD, store double word, that is the value of R0 and R1, 2 words are going to be stored into the memory location specified by R2. Here we have considered a pre-index, that is strd.w R0 comma R1 comma in the address of R2 comma hash offset. The offset is 20. So here pre-index is first update the base address to an offset and then load the value of register. So this first R2 will be added with 20H, so it will become 1020. In that address the value of R0 is going to be loaded, and if the value of R1 is to be loaded into this memory, again it has to be added with it is going to be plus 4 bytes, 1024. So in that address the value of R1 is going to be stored. So this is about this lecture. We will see different topics in next lectures.